Hey, what is up nerds, geeks, and collectors alike? Today we are taking a look at the Bandai Petitrits Freight Grand Order Altered Jeanne d'Arc. This is interestingly the first Bandai model kit that I've ever featured on the channel. So I'm gonna build it and I'm going to review it. As you can see here, we have an image of Jeanne Alter assembled. And this is the front, this is the top. Here we have an actual size reference for the figure, and at the side here, Fate Grand Order Bandai, an image of Altered Jeanne d'Arc. As you can see, she is number 3, and the same on the other side right here. So that's about it for the packaging. Now we're going to build it and then we're going to review it. So let's get started. Now here we have the model kit fully assembled, as well as the stickers applied. A chibi style of Avenger Jeanne Alter from Fate Grand Order. And if you don't know what Fate Grand Order is, basically it's a game where you collect heroes and historical figures from mythologies, literature, and actual people from history. And Jeanne Alter is the alternate form of Jeanne d'Arc. And Jeanne d'Arc is based on Saint Joan of Arc from the 100-year War of France. Setting the historical lesson aside, this figure is absolutely adorable. I had fun building this. But first, let's take a look at the accessories. Now, taking a look at her sword here, it is fairly detailed, especially for a single piece model kit. As you can see, it has no paint, since once more this is a model kit and you can't really expect some paint applications here. It's just this gray colored plastic. But like every model kit, it encourages you to paint the accessories as well as the figure. Now, moving on to the flag. The flag does have a fair amount of detail when it comes to the sculpting. Now here, I do encourage you to paint the flag instead of applying the stickers, because the overall white here is just a sticker and it doesn't really blend or give you the feel that this is a flag. This is actually I don't want to go as far as to say that this is pathetic, but this is actually a time where paint is a necessity, or Bandai could have just made this into a separate piece. Now, the flag does come in two pieces in order to slot in Jeanne Alter's hand, but I wish Bandai could have just included a white piece of plastic that would represent the flag itself instead of these stickers. So I'm telling you right now, just paint this thing white, but the black stickers are actually good. Now, moving on to the final accessory, Jeanne Alter does come with a base, and this actually looks pretty cool. What you gotta do is just snap this in and just position that. As you can see, it is, I think this is supposed to represent fire, since that's kind of her thing, fire. But I can't help but see a pool of blood. Whatever this is, it does look cool. I gotta admit that. This is a pretty cool base, and I think every Bandai Petitrits Fate Grand Order character that has been released comes with their own unique base. I think this is a standard thing for Fate Grand Order figures, and in order to put the sword, you just simply just snap that into her hand, just slot it in there. And like I said earlier, the flag is a two-piece set where you can easily just slot this here, and let's just pose her with her holding her sword, and finally apply the flag. Just peg this in. Oops, it's not slotting in properly, and there we go. And that's how you make Jeanne Alter, or equip her with all of her accessories. Now, moving on to the figure itself. As you can see here, the sculpt is pretty good, especially for a GB-fied version of Avenger Jeanne Alter. And there is no paint here, it's just colored plastic, different tones of gray, black, and the red pieces are stickers, as you can see right there. And I gotta note that these gray parts actually has some sort of hue for the violet. Basically, it's like a violet gray color scheme, which is actually her standard look for Jeanne Alter. And the eyes are stickers as well. And at the back, as you can see here, it is a thing of model kits that, of course, they don't have paint. If you really wanted them to have paint, you had to do it yourself. But the level of detail when it comes to the sculpt after forming these model kits, they actually look pretty good. And now moving on to articulation. Her head is on a ball joint. She can look up that far, look down that far. Her head can do a 360. As you can see right here, it is again once more in a ball joint. Her arms can go out that far, but you have to negotiate with the head right here since her hair is going to block that range of motion. She can lift her hand that far up. She also has a bicep swivel right there, but you're gonna negotiate with the armor piece right here. As you can see right there, she has a bicep swivel. She can do a 90-degree bend at the elbow. Let's just remove her sword since it's in the way. As you can see right there, 90-degree, but it is slightly restricted by the armor piece. She has a wrist swivel, and that's about it for the arms. Same goes with the other side, and she doesn't really have some torso articulation, but her legs are on a ball joint as well as her ankles. As you can see, she is once more restricted by her skirt, which is made of plastic, so you can't really put her into dynamic poses, and she does not have a knee articulation whatsoever. And that's about it for the articulation. Now moving on to the size of the figure, she stands a little above 4 inches, but if you take her hair into account, she does reach the 4.5 inch right there, which is a fair height, especially for a chibified character. And once more at the side of the box, you can actually see her actual height, which is 10 centimeters. But that's about her size if it is translated into inches. But let's try to check her size, how much she gains in terms of height with the base included. Let's just pose her right there, fix her up, and let's get the measuring tape. Now she stands a little below 4.5 inches, and that's excluding her hair. And in order to just pose her right there, as you can see, you just want to pose her that well. I'm not gonna count the flag since it's just an accessory. That's not really the height of the figure. Now let's try to get a fellow Fate Grand Order character. Well, Saber is technically a Fate Stay Night character, which is, the game is just the expansion of the series. And as you can see, that's the difference in height compared to a Figma action figure. And I do hope that Bandai does make a Saber altar with her armor on. And as you can see, she is a little smaller, as you can see. And here we have Transformers The Last Night Premiere Edition Hot Rod. What's the relation whatsoever? Well, they're both French. That's all I got to correlate them. And that's about it for the size comparison. Now, to summarize my thoughts with this figure, well, I enjoyed the process of building this thing very much. And I gotta get this out of the way. If you are considering to get this figure, I know for certain you did also consider to either get this or a Nendoroid of this character, since it's basically the same aesthetic. Unfortunately, I cannot do a direct comparison since I have no Nendoroid figures. But from what I know, this one is cheaper, while the Nendoroid does have more accessories. It's also painted and it's already assembled. And that's just my general knowledge when it comes to Nendoroids. But with this, the first thing that will catch your attention when comparing getting this Bandai Petitrits from a Nendoroid is the price point. This one is cheaper, and you also go through the process of building this, which personally it is fun for me, and I don't want to speak for everyone else. Some want to build it themselves, and on the other hand, other people would want their figures pre-built. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you get this over the Nendoroid version, you're gonna miss out on the additional accessories, not to mention the figure is already built and painted when you get it. But with this version, if you get the Bandai Petitrits, well, it's a model kit, so you have to build it, to paint it, to customize it, especially if you're uncomfortable with numb marks and whatnot, and you can add some additional details. Not to mention you also get fewer accessories, but these are the essentials for the character. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but I am quite satisfied with this, and I did consider getting the Nendoroid for the longest time, but I am, like I said, satisfied with this one. So if you are a Fate Grand Order Jeanne Altar fan wanting to get the Nendoroid figure, this is actually a pretty good alternative. So that's about it. Till next time, see ya.